think there's any validity to the argument that Magic cards holding value protects the games during its period. No, I don't think that's kind of horseshit. Blackwell J, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great content on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. I appreciate that. Not only that, but the real tragedy is that eventually, thanks to the no reprint policy, the money card hoarders will actually be impossible to play sanctioned vintage because the cards in circulation will be worn down and not sleepable. Yeah, exactly. Like there are more and more reserved list cards that are destroyed or become tournament unplayable every single year, and there's not more added to circulation. Hey, Archichu, thank you very much for the 6-month resubscription. I appreciate that. Half a year. Welcome back. Thanks for the continued support. Maybe we'll queue into Shay. He's streaming right now. Yeah, that too. Also, like, it's kind of like the idea that the old original printings of cards suddenly become worthless when they get reprinted is kind of silly, right? Like, look at the price of a beta lightning bolt and compare it to an M25 lightning bolt. Like, the beta lightning bolt is worth a significant amount of money, and lightning bolt's been reprinted multiple times. Details on the subs Discord can be found here. Opponent's mulligan down to 5 here. I don't really know what we're doing here. I guess we're just like looking for an oath, right? Like we've got a Forbidden Orchard. Yeah, guess what? Everything on the reserve list is a collector's item. Everything on the reserve list is a collector's item. They would go down a non-zero amount. And you know what else is going to cause them to go down a non-zero amount? If people stop playing the formats that they're relevant in. I don't think I want any of those 3 cards. We're pretty far off a dig through time. Hopefully whatever they're doing doesn't involve killing us on the first turn so we can ult this Flusterstorm. I think I want to just Brainstorm, right? I'm going to pass for now. I mean, and like the flip side of the coin too is that like part of it, and I got into a conversation with someone about this on Twitter the other day. Like the basic idea that like the reserve list should be abolished so they could support these formats, like that idea works on the base assumption that like Wizards of the Coast wants to support these older non-rotating formats, but in reality I don't think that's true. I think Wizards of the Coast would much rather people play Standard because Standard creates repeat customers for them, whereas formats like this do not create repeat customers for Wizards of the Coast. Man, that's good. All right. I'm gonna throw back this and the Volk, and I'm gonna Fluster this Time Walk. I don't even think Wizards cares for Modern all that much, to be honest. I think Wizards just recognizes that like a non-rotating format is like necessary. It's not something that they enjoy having be a thing though. And like obviously like a majority of the people that are like watching me play Magic the Gathering on Twitch are like probably in favor of abolishing the reserve list, because like if you're watching someone play Magic on Twitch, you probably want to play Magic the Gathering yourself. Whereas like people that are against against abolishing the reserve list, they want to do so because they don't want to play Magic. They want the reserve list to stay there so they can hoard Magic cards. Hopefully their counterspell is a misstep here, so we can misstep their misstep. Yo, dog. This card is so miserable. It's like misery incarnate. Okay, they do have a force. Okay, fair. What'd they pitch? They pitched a cruise. All right, fair deal. I think I'm okay with a top here. The question is, do I want to give them a 1/1 to cast the top this turn? Probably. I think that's okay. And the art on this is quite fantastic. Very beautiful. Put a stop on my upkeep now. Sure, but like, while they do sell premium packs, and like they could obviously do like, you know, from the vault expensive legacy cards or like Masters reprints with reserve list cards, like while they would sell that product, what those products being sold don't create is repeat customers. So like standard creates repeat customers, and there's only a finite amount of time for a lot of people to play Magic. So while not everybody while not everybody would stop playing Standard and start playing Vintage and Legacy and Modern if they were more affordable, there is definitely a non-zero number of people that would stop playing Standard if Vintage, Modern, Legacy were the same price as Standard. I can actually, this dig is very castable, huh? It's gonna like really suck when my opponent mana drains me, but I'm gonna go ahead and pass the turn here, I think. I'm gonna upkeep, cast this dig through time, I think. Man, I really wish this card was modern legal. I just love casting this card. It's so great. Just feels good to cast. You know, it's funny. People talk about like making master sets or like from the vaults is really difficult and like takes development time. It really doesn't. Do you know how you make the best master set that's going to be the most popular master set that's ever been printed? You open up fucking MTG Goldfish's website and you look at the price list of cards that are really fucking expensive, and then you put all of the really expensive ones in your master set. It is super easy and not complicated in the slightest to make a successful master set. It was quite possibly one of the easiest things Wizards of the Coast could ever do. But again, that works on the assumption that like that's something that they want to do. They have to want to do that. I mean, they can just do nothing. Like, why can't they just do nothing? I definitely want a Time Walk here. I kind of just want to land. Like, honestly, like, I don't know what our opponent's doing, but we're kind of getting to the point where, like, if we draw a Sun Titan, we can just cast it. We could go Dack, take their land. That's a good point. I didn't think about the fact that they had a seat of the Synod as one of their lands. Thank you for pointing that out. Hey, look, it's the Carter deck is named after her. Oh, that was a mistake. I should have tapped the Volcanic Island because I definitely could have cast this without giving them another 1/1. Spending more Amazon fund monies. Thanks for keeping up the great content. Thank you for the 2 months of support, Telster. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Oh, why didn't I cast my Time Walk? Sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm reading chat and messages and stuff like that. 10 out of 10 should have cast Time Walk. It's fine. We're probably okay. those paying close attention, the reason why we didn't cast Time Walk there is because I clicked through. Once the turn slider slid the mana turn, I was like, all right, we have this Time Walk that we dug for. No Hearthstone this evening. Wednesday nights is my all Magic evening. I think I'm gonna do some Hearthstone late tomorrow. I think we're in a fine spot regardless, right? You agree with the sentiment that counterfeit cards are the reason Legacy and Modern are played? No, I think, and I'd be pretty surprised if counterfeit cards are already that big of an issue, but they're definitely going to become an issue at some point in the future. Whoa, they could like Paradox. They could, what's it called? Paradox here, right? They're going to Yogg Will their Time Walk. Okay. Okay. I like it. Desperate, but reasonable. You should watch the Cobra Saheeli video from the last one. Well, it wasn't actually Cobra. You should watch the Saheeli video of deck we played the other day. I think it was very, very good. I'm gonna go ahead and look for a Force of Will here. Oh, does Paradox say non-token? It might. You're right. It might actually. And then I can crack this fetch and take 3 more looks here. Because if we like hit a Force of Will, the game is over. So I'm gonna try and dig for that. Hey, look at that. Found a piece of candy. Yeah, the phantasmal images, the more... I think I had some good feedback at the end of the video for, like, talking about some things you could do differently, but I definitely think that build felt like it was a really good way to go. Alright, hopefully we can dead them here. Yes, please. This finds us a Sun Titan. We actually didn't find any Saheelis here, which is kind of sad. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player chooses a player. Alright, so... I guess we just get back Divining Top, right? Doesn't really matter. We're going to cast Time Walk and then do this again next turn. Oh, if I'd have gotten the other Oath, I would have guaranteed flip my whole deck into my discard pile, right? And then I'd get to combo them. So I should have gotten the other Oath. I think I was supposed to have gotten the other Oath there. Because then 2 Oath triggers happen. No, then I lose on my draw step, right? I lose on my draw step if that's the case. Right, because this happens during my upkeep. So it's correct not to get the other Oath. Alright, so I hit a Saheeli, which is pretty close lethal. So if I top into another one here, we win the game. Take my draw step here first. 10 out of 10. I got you. Tilt. No, the other planeswalkers in my bin are Dack Faydens. They're not more Saheelis. So I don't have a combo. How do I win? What am I missing here? So I can copy this Titan can't attack, chat. It just came into play. Yeah, like we're not gonna lose the game, but like we can't kill them this turn, right? I think I just grabbed D-Sphere here to clear their spirits, right? So they don't have blockers. We don't, there isn't a second. I know how the combo works, chat. These are Dacks. These are Dack Faydens. Oh, you know what? My sequencing was wrong here. So what I should have done is I should have gotten back a Dack with my first trigger there. Because if I got back a Dack, I would have been able to steal an artifact and then get back another Dack during my attack step to steal another artifact. And I could have taken their mana Crypt plus their Seed of the Synod here. Oh, this lets them Oath. Hey. Yep, that's probably loose. I could have just gotten that next turn too. Look, we're learning. It's just our first game. It's our first game. We're fumbling and bumbling. Oh, getting back Dack could have looted us into another Saheeli. Yeah, that's super true. Any requests? Shutterwalk is pretty sweet. We have a Shutterwalk build some other people in my group have been playing. Oath is a May. You may reveal, right? May reveal cards. Yeah, this is optional. So we're gonna have to flip a creature into play here if they have one. You have a Snapcaster Mage. First Shutterwalk. No, Burgle doesn't play Hearthstone. He does Hex stuff. Hollowed Ace and Bob and Cheese and Druid are the other people that were on my Hex group that started playing Hearthstone. And thank you for the bits, Apprentice. The Synod is theirs. The Synod deck borrowed. Are they just like playing a fair deck? The Snapcaster Mage is weird to me. I decided I wasn't going to do an arena run. Limited just takes too much time and I just don't find that interesting. The person that donated for it wants their money back, I'll send it back to them. How many legendaries are in Shutterwalk? God, there's a fuck ton of legendaries in Shutterwalk. There's like 4 or 5. It's a lot. I take a break in the middle on Wednesdays. On Wednesdays I do a little bit in the morning and then I come back and do the evening. Paradox will play a few Snapcasters on occasion. That makes sense. So is this an extra Flusterstorm matchup? I think this might be an extra Flusterstorm matchup. I actually think the even spell rogue deck is actually really good, really reasonable, Apprentice. You should wait and see that one played before you decide. Oh yeah, Trap's probably reasonable too. What are my easy cuts? Ancient Grudge is an easy cut. Balance doesn't seem very good. I think that's all I really want to do. Seems fine. Oh no, yeah, that's 3 Dacks. It's 3 Dacks, 3 Saheelis. We have every 3 mana blue red planeswalker in this deck. All right, we're gonna have a Hoagland does social media here for a minute. Let's see what do we think the responses to this tweet are going to be? Tempo Mage is the cheap standard deck that you can build. After playing some Vintage, why exactly is Oath of Druids still banned in Legacy? Tweet. I'm sure there's going to be some people that do some like really backwards defending about it to like try and justify it still being banned, but like what this card does is like it's nowhere near as degenerate as what a lot of things in the format do. Legacy players just hate change. It's part of the reason they play Legacy. a lot of Legacy players hate change. Obviously not all of them, but I think a good deal of them just hate change. Turn 1 library, that's rude. Odd Paladin is good. Odd Paladin, I guess there aren't that many legendaries in Odd Paladin. My Odd Paladin list 0. It might actually be 0. Hey, Waldus War Turtle, thank you very much for the bits. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Am I stupid? I'm gonna look up the Legacy Magic ban. I'm pretty sure Oath of Druids is banned in Legacy. 10 out of 10 banned in Legacy. Yeah. 10 out of 10 banned in Legacy. Is the land pass here? So you're going to start going to town with their Library of Alexandria here. Oh, there is the thing that upgrades your hero ability, but that's like the only one, right? It's got too much text on the card. Hashtag ban Chains of Mephistopheles. Tarim's a 6-drop, right? I'm pretty sure that's not the case. Yeah, Tarim costs 6. It's like, that's pretty... I'm new to Hearthstone, but like, don't confuse me, chat. I don't know what all the cards do. Nam, I'm gonna ask you to please refrain from using the word retarded in the derogatory sense like you just did there. This is gonna be your first and only warning. You'll be removed from the chat if you do it again. So we drew a recall here. That's pretty good. I think I want the misstep to fight over their misstep, potentially. I think I'm going to throw back Orchard. Actually, the Detention Sphere probably doesn't do much, right? So we'll throw back Orchard plus Sphere here. Maybe I just want to ponder this turn, just like dig for my Oath. So, like, the Force helps insulate us against a combo next turn, and it can help the Recall resolve, but, like, I really don't want to draw these other 2 cards here, so I think I'm going to any order and shuffle this. Mindbreak Trap is pretty good. For not abiding slurs in chat, thanks to the bit Slife, I appreciate that. Yeah, just, like, you know, be decent to other people. I'm really far down on clock, huh? I should probably play a little bit faster. We're at 12 minutes, and this is only game 2. So I'm probably gonna have to ignore chat a little bit here so I can, like, play at a reasonable pace. Or, like, a less glacial pace. There's a lot going on in vintage games. Makes it difficult to keep up with some of the time. Especially when I'm, like, not super familiar with what's going on in the format. Well, that seems quite good. So I guess we're gonna bait with the recall here, right? And I want to play this Forbidden Orchard first, so that way if they have Flusterstorm, I can pay for it. Liking things on Twitter is so weird because the way Twitter works, they're basically like stealth retweets at this point. Misstep. What if I misstepped your misstep? Yo, dog. This is why this card should be banned in every format for reference, because this interaction is fucking rancid. It's really obnoxious. Super, super obnoxious. They mana drain me here. I get to Flusterstorm them, which is exciting. Wait, what? I think you made a boo-boo, opponent. I think they meant to let my misstep resolve before they did that. Yeah, I just got an oops in chat for my opponent. It's definitely a mistake. Definitely wanted to not have that happen in that order. And if they have a force here, they've actually cast 3 spells and I can Mindbreak Trap them. Because they cast Misstep plus Snapcaster, so if they force me, this is active. Like, so I get that this is kind of a 1-card combo, especially with, like, Forbidden Orchard, like, against creature decks in Legacy, but, like, this is so slow by the virtue of Legacy combo decks. Like, this is like, ridiculously slow as far as Legacy combo decks are concerned, right? Sprinkled on the grave of your opponent. Like, this is... If you have fast mana, it happens on turn 1, and you don't put your thing into play till turn 2, and you often don't kill them till turn 3 or 4. We'll see if they have a disenchant here or something like that. If they're able to play through this Oath, not only do I have another Oath, but I also have a Treasure Cruise to gas back up with. Gosh, how hot would it be if we beat this Library of Alexandria? It'd be pretty hot, right? Yeah, that's true. With this specific build, the Sun Titans can kill them on turn 2 if everything lines up. But, like, is a turn 2 kill really that offensive in Legacy? Hopefully, this Mindbreak Trap's gonna resolve on this Paradox Days. Thank you, Waldus, for the bits. I appreciate that. I think there are a number of things Wizards could do to get around the reserve list being there if they wanted to, but the actual answer is that they don't want to, and the reserve list gives them an easy out to not support formats they don't want to support in the first place. Wanted the new icon? Enjoy. I just, like, you know, just, like, really want to do sweet things like Saheeli and Sun Titan in Legacy. That card makes a lot of mana. They've got... I'd say they have all the legendary lands, but this land isn't legendary somehow. It's, like, basically legendary, right? It's restricted. Formats like Legacy and Modern and Vintage, they don't create repeat customers for a company like Wizards of the Coast. And that's what Wizards wants. Wizards want people that are going to buy more Magic cards several times per year. This is Vintage. This card is banned in Legacy. And this card is banned in Legacy. And this card is banned in Legacy. And this card, and this card, and this card, and this card are all banned in Legacy. They have 4 cards left here. If they have a what's it called, and then something back up for it here, they could beat this Mindbreak Trap, and we could die this turn. Also, like, they're only drawing, like, 4 cards here, so, like, there's a non-zero chance that they brick off and can't actually kill us, but... There's probably a few cards that are safe unbans in Legacy at this point. Like, why is Squirrel Nest ban, or Earthcraft, whatever that combo is? Like Oath of Druids is probably a safe unban. The Squirrel Nest, Earthcraft, whichever half of that is banned, is probably a safe unban. This is a Yogg-Will. This is a Yogg-Will. I'm supposed to trap this, right? They only have one floating here. Yeah, I'm just gonna trap this. Because they only have 1, 2, 3 mana left right now, and they've already played a land for the turn. I have no idea what their numbers are. I do know that there is a reason why they push Standard as their flagship format. All right, if we mill over one Saheeli and we get to cast this one on our way to the Sun Titan, we get to kill them this turn potentially. Just need to put one pretty lady into our bin. God, we got double Dack again and no Saheeli. That's so sad. I guess I'm just like getting Dack back and taking their thing, right? I'm just gonna like take their artifacts away from them. So I'm gonna get a Dack here, and I'm gonna steal a Soul Ring, and then I'm gonna play Saheeli, copy Sun Titan, get a Dack, steal a Mox Sapphire. So borrow this. The problem is I don't have enough mana to cast another Saheeli this turn. I only have enough mana to cast one of her. The problem is I could loot. Oh, looting discards and puts them into the bin. Yeah, you're right. I'm dumb. This would have discarded. Yeah, I definitely could have done that. It's fine. This is probably still fine, but Chad is correct. God, this deck is sweet. This deck is really sweet. Like the little angles that you get to play from. Definitely foobarring some of them. I don't know. I think by like taking their artifact mana and like having this Flusterstorm left over, we're probably good. God, I could even just like take this Black Lotus here and like cast this Treasure Cruise too. I could have cast Treasure Cruise as well. Just gonna get another deck here. This deck is sweet. Yeah, that should pretty much be a lock, right? I have Fluster plus Force here. Yeah, we've played an Oath variation on this stream in the past before with like Gristlebrand and stuff. This definitely feels better than those did. There's a cycle of oaths. That's great. Yeah, that was my fourth turn. So they have to beat Force plus Fluster here, so they should be pretty dead. God, those are so ridiculously bad. What do we got here? They've made red mana. Opponent's had enough. Yeah, we very likely could have actually won the game that last turn if I wouldn't messed up. Look, no numbers with the 5-month resubscription. Thank you very much and welcome. Welcome to everybody hanging out here tonight. My name is Jeff Hogan. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I stream Magic 30 plus hours a week. We mostly stream Modern. We also play some Legacy and some Vintage like we are here tonight. If you're enjoying my stuff, the best way you can support my content is by doing like Captain Quark just did there and look what members did before them. Thank you very much for the subscription. My subscribers are a big part of why I'm able to stream full time like this. You can also support my stuff by checking out some of my wonderful sponsors. MTGOtraders.com would love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buy and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12, you can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags there. And of course, myself and the wonderful moderators here would like to welcome everyone to Hoaglandia. Please talk to your friendly neighborhood moderator about your complimentary timeout. If you enjoy the vintage content, we played some vintage last week as well. Hey, still throwing my money at this and being a lurker. Jesus696, thanks for the 5-month resub. I appreciate that. Thank you for the continued support. Thanks for helping me do what I do here. This deck is kind of great. This is a really sweet deck. Like, Sans Mental Misstep being obnoxious, but necessary. Like, I like a lot of what this deck is going on. It's a shame, like, I could never actually find the cards to play this deck, so, like, there's no way I could play this in paper. But I'd like to know what a 4 cents of free timeout is like. I got you. Is this a Kelly special? I have no idea. Actually, I do have an answer to that question. I pulled this deck list from an Andre Mangucci article, I think it was. Actually, I don't 100% know. I'm pretty sure it was an Andre Mangucci article. Is this a keep? 1 land, no keep. This is probably a mulligan, right? Like, Sun Titan in the opener is kind of medium as well. I think I'm going to mulligan this. I think I'm supposed to play catch and release here. Another Titan in the opener, but we have a Sensei's top, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this. I think this format's actually pretty sweet, Azentoth. I know it's not particularly popular, so like I don't plan to do it all the time, but I think this format's actually quite interesting. It could just be like the novelty of the format that I don't play it that often, but I actually think I like it more. I like the games I've played, I actually kind of like it more than Legacy right now. Was going for the fake anger. God bless. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely, well, it's kind of accessible online. The prices of vintage decks on Magic Online are like very comparable to like prices of modern online. OG Mox Sapphire. I actually really like the new Moxes more than these older ones. Oh yeah, it seems fine. I'm pretty sure I want to just top during my upkeep, so that way if I miss a land in my top 3, I can crack my fetch and then get another shot at a land here or a cantrip. Glad they reprinted them. Oh, wait. Sure. There's probably an argument that I could and should have misstepped their Brainstorm. I didn't stop to consider that. I was like wanting to save this for like more powerful things, but like that's pretty powerful, right? I think I'm supposed to this deck's pretty good. Like I just like need a land or a cantrip here. It's too greedy to keep any of these, right? I'm pretty sure it's too greedy to keep any of these. There's our clock. Land, please. Ding. Yeah, getcha. Getcha. Mana Crypt is coming for you. Yeah, Mishra's Workshop is, I'm gonna misstep this one because it's half of a combo. Mishra's Workshop, or well, Shops, is arguably the best deck in Vintage, right? Is a Paradoxical Outcome. Smells like PO. I subbed this morning, but the stream crashed. Well, thanks for the sub, Grimwatch. I appreciate that. Welcome. I don't think I want to force pitching my crews here. I guess I can go ahead and look with this and grab a blue card here and then pitch that. That's probably worthwhile, right? I think there's a Dack Fayden on top of my deck. Is that worth it? I think that's worthwhile. I don't want to take my clock off the table. So I know there's an island on top of my deck. Beast Within is cute. Do I want to play island this turn? I probably do, right? Probably just want to like make all my land drops. I don't think that's good enough, but the fact that they're returning 3 points of mana in 2 cards, their Paradox engine could get going if I let them draw that there, I think, which probably wouldn't be good for us. They could potentially like snowball that into killing us if they drew well. Repeal is cute. I like it. Yeah, Twitch Prime subs are identical to tier 1 subs on the channel. So Twitch Prime subs can add decks to the donation queue, and they are welcome to the Discord. So on my end, Twitch Prime subs are identical to tier 1 subs. Hit me up with that timeout. I got you, Grikachu. I guess I'm just gonna give him the D here next turn, huh? Right? Details on the Discord here. Whoever said this was our clock, you are not wrong. You are not incorrect. God bless a fetch land to finally clear the top of our deck. The fetch land also puts another card in our bin, so we'll get to Treasure Cruise next turn, most likely. I took a nap this afternoon, Nivik, so I'm on the ball with the timeouts. I hope they die to the Crypt too. You and me both. They won the flip. How lucky. 1, 1, and 4. That's me whenever I play cards like this. Just like have 1, 1, and 4. Ooh, that's pretty good. Am I dead yet? I guess I could probably just auto pass here, right? Because like if I was gonna be able to counter something, I'd have countered the recall. Crypt is why you don't scoop to Vault Key. God bless. And they probed me, so now I can auto pass and just be like, yep, do your thing. They have a cruise here. Tinker. It's gonna be Tinker Time Walk Kill Me. Oh, geez. And I used my D-Sphere already. Well, don't I just feel like a big, dumb, stupid? Alright, so... I've got 2 more Dack Faydens in my deck. we're gonna look for one of those. I can just Ancient Grudge. I can Ancient Grudge the Blightsteel, right? Mistakes were made, chat. Mistakes were made. This is probably an okay Grudge matchup, right? I probably don't want this balance. Trap's probably fine. Flusterstorm seems good. Beast Within seems a little bit medium. Use your Summoner's Pack to find an Ancient Grudge. Yeah, Saheeli is creature you control. It is creature or artifact you control. We did kill the Mox. We did get punished for my aggressive use of Detention Sphere. I just kind of wanted to use my mana that turn. I guess we also had a Jace there at the end too. I could have done it. I'm gonna submit like that. Mental Misstep seems okay in this matchup. This has to be a mulligan, right? It just like doesn't. It's like 6 pieces of mana Saheeli. Yeah, this is a mulligan. Seems pretty good. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. All right, so let's preordain to try and cantrip into a force. Obviously, we're keeping the oath. Alright, they turn 1 library on the draw. I'll draw a card here. The fact that these give them 1/1s to pressure our planeswalkers is a little bit medium. Obviously, like, we have to have Forbidden Orchard in our deck for our Oath of Druids to work. We could have Beast Within our Sphere and then hit mana. Huh, that's a sweet line. It's a good line to point out. D-Hull. DCC Hull. It's hard to read. DCC Hut. Your username is hard to read on the dark Twitch with the blue name. This library's pretty brutal. We need to find a way to combo them ASAP. Gonna loot with Dack next turn. Unless we draw an Oath, obviously. This Magic the Gathering game, it's tough sometimes. It's tough sometimes. I'm sure they have another force here, but you know, if they don't... Rats! Rats! This damn library of Alexandria has given it to us. We beat a Gush and a Peo here, though, so we've got that going for us, I suppose. I'm really glad we put 4 copies of this combo card in our deck. Next turn we'll probably Dack plus loot. It's a Campbell? Okay. That's like annoying, but it's not the end of the world. I guess it kind of sucks because it means if I Forbidden Orchard, they're going to get to kill my Dack Fayden with 4 power in play, which is the most annoying part of what they have going on. Okay, so that's a sweet draw, because it means that I don't have to give them another 1/1 to play Dack out. So that means I'll get 2 sets of loots out of Dack. Choose you, Pikachu. Well, that's pretty bad. I think I'm actually going to keep a land here, just because, like, we could find a Sun Titan at some point. Do I enjoy Vintage? Yeah, what I've played of the format, it seems pretty sweet. I definitely don't have a very thorough amount of experience with the format. This is super gross, so let's them activate Library of Alexandria. That's basically a draw 4. Ugh. With this Time Walk and the Dack Fayden letting us see extra cards, we could realistically, like, cast a Sun Titan in 2 turns. So, like, get you. Oh, and they're just ignoring Dack. I guess that makes sense since Campbell pressures our health total. I guess that makes sense. Sure. It's getting like a Force of Will. We could find Sun Titan. Yeah, that's a Force. That doesn't surprise me. That with Campbell probably locks this up. All right, well, I mean, this is getting forced almost certainly. Really? Okay, sweet. I guess they figure they can just force whatever we find. So if I find land Sun Titan, we technically have the combo. But we know they have a force. I'm gonna bin this. We don't have time for that. So we're gonna go to 3 on this combat next turn, which means a gentle reminder to chat that I am always willing to provide you with a free timeout. What does Dack's ultimate do again? It gives you an emblem that says whenever you cast a spell that targets a permanent, you gain control of it. So it's not particularly useful here. But if we can, like, find a Sun Titan next turn, we can combo them with the Sun Titan. Like, they've played with the Exile. They're through 3 Force of Wills at this point. So there's a non-zero chance we could steal this at 1, basically. Or 2. Oh, they hit Dack there. I was like, that's why they're worried about me doing that. So I can't actually, casting Oath doesn't actually do it because I need a turn for Oath to work. So we need to just draw Sun Titan naturally and have them not have a counterspell here. Yep. All right. Well, we're dead. Yep. That's a sweet game. I really like how the fact that, like, we have this Sun Titan in our deck means that, like, compared to Gristlebrite and Emrakul, that our threat is very castable. They had the 4th Force anyways. Yep. How much would I have to pay to duct tape a Black-Red Reanimator League onto the end of the stream? I mean, I do most things for $100. My opponent very kindly told me that they were dead for prizes in this league, and they told me not to concede if they were going to kill us. So good guy or gal Doc B there with the 2-0 us and then concede because we're still live for prizes. So God bless you, Doc B, if you watch this or if you join the stream. Yeah, the fact that we were so far into that game, in spite of the fact that like their library drew 4 cards, is pretty impressive, honestly. And Professor Yana, thanks for the 26-month resubscription. I don't think I called that out explicitly. I read your message, but thank you. Thank you for the 26 months. That's a long time. Not anything. Most things and anything are very different. There's a different range in those things. I'm like, Black Red Reanimator is like a deck that I like playing, and it plays a quick league, so. I mean, the funny part there is, like, we actually didn't want the Oath that last turn, right? Like, we wanted to draw Sun Titan. I've got some requests. Yeah, that sounds great, right? I've got Force and Misstep. I've got Oath and top. I just need a way to find, get a creature into play for them. We'll be good to go. Cheerios is a sweet deck as well. You're not wrong. Not wrong. Is it aggressive to misstep this? It's definitely aggressive to misstep it. Is it wrong to misstep it, I guess is the better question. I really love countering cantrips. Like, we have 4 missteps. I feel like there aren't 4 missteps in this deck to not misstep Ponders. Like, we could get punished for that, but I feel like, well, the person that built this deck was like, there should be, you're supposed to be misstepping these fucking cantrips. Like, get them. What do you think of Goblin Chain Whirler as a Pontiff style? I don't actually know what that card does. When this enters the battlefield, deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature. Wow, that's actually really sweet. That's actually really sweet. Huh. Yeah, because, like, I've definitely splashed black for just Pontiff in the past, and, like, while red can be kind of hard to cast, it's definitely doable, right? Like, better than... Hey, Pillow Pants, thanks for the scoop. I appreciate it. Good games again. Good luck in your future leagues with the Paradox deck. The deck is very sweet. I think I'm going to counter this because it's their clock. That's a good question, too. With that Goblin and Damping Sphere, maybe there's something there. Looking for Forbidden Orchard here. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 Mana Ponder. So a little bit of ways away from that dig. So we'll go ahead and we'll play this and fetch up a Volk here so we can cast the Dack with any 3rd land. And I think this is a pretty easy shuffle here. We just really want Forbidden Orchard, pretty likely to hit. Oh, I could have let them have the snappy. Yeah, you're totally right. You're totally right. Yeah, countering the snap was super wrong. Yeah, you are super correct. Like, the play patterns for this deck, like, aren't ingrained in my brain. It's like one of those things where, like, when you look at the deck list, you think to yourself, Oath only works when I am... Yep, definitely Apprentice. Can you message me a deck code for that? Because I don't think I saved it. Thank you for the bits. Yeah, 10 out of 10, like, it wasn't like, it didn't like click in my brain that like them putting creature into play would work on my Oath. Like my small dinosaur brain is like, oh, Oath only works when I give them my Forbidden Orchard, so like I need to dig for Forbidden Orchard. Well, these all suck. I guess I'm just taking the land here. Maybe the Misstep's fine. I guess it doesn't really matter because I can like power... I can power through them with the Dack, which is nice. Yeah, timeouts just don't let you post in chat. Spin during the upkeep again here, in case the third one is good. Well, the third one is a fresh set of looks here, which is nice. Before I play this land... Yeah, probably Apprentice. I think Vanish is probably too good to not play. Don't want a Saheeli Rai, so let's do this. And then I'm just going to pass here. So this is actually vintage, so we're going to be playing Legacy after this league, but this is actually a vintage deck. How this deck works is Oath of Druids puts a Sun Titan into play, and Sun Titan with 2 copies of Saheeli Rai generates infinite Sun Titans. So Oath of Druids takes the cards that you look past on your way to the Sun Titan and puts them in your discard pile. There's a Forbidden Orchard, God bless. There's going to be a Flusterstorm on top of our deck too to help us fight through here. They can hardcast a Force here. No such thing. Man, I really wish this card was Legacy Legal after playing this deck. This deck's really sweet, and like this combo with the Saheeli's plus the Oath and like the Dack Fayden seems like it would be really awesome to play in a Legacy shell. We are so bad at hitting Saheeli's. We like have hit multiple Dack Faydens multiple times and just like can never hit 2 Saheeli's. So we have all 3 Dacks. So I'm gonna grab a Dack here. Because if Dack Fayden loots us into another Saheeli, we could potentially be in a good spot there. We can potentially combo them depending on like what interaction they have in their hand. So there's Sun Titan. Okay, so we don't want to activate this again next turn. When that comes up, we're gonna say no. I guess I want to loot first. Even though you're a bit new to Hearthstone, do you think you'll ever play Wild? I've actually have streamed Wild already. It's harder for me to accept donation decks for Hearthstone. So if people want to donate for Wild decks, I need them to donate extra so I can afford to buy the extra dust. Because committing to building any Wild deck is just too much of a money pit with the collection that I have on Hearthstone right now. The fetch land actually gives us more looks at a Saheeli Rai. I use a distribution called Bodhi Linux. It's based on the latest Ubuntu LTS. Do I want to just draw the recall, crack the fetch, and then recall? I think that's what I want to do. Yeah, Mill Rogue is the wild deck that I have built because Apprentice donated extra to give me dust for it. I'm slowly playing my way through the PvE stuff in Hearthstone, so like maybe at some point I'll have enough dust to like play, or I'll have enough of the cards from those to like be able to accept some wild decks, but for the time being I have to charge a premium for them because they cost me a premium. Is my Sun Titan about to get Swords to Plowshared? And I discarded my other Sun Titan? Well, that's a motherfucking beating. Well. Huh. And I bid my misstep too. Yep. Well, I mean, we can win with a Jace ult, right? Saheeli can ping them to death. You're not wrong. It's the Snapcaster. It is. Yeah. All right. Well, that was tough. Tough beat. Plow was a little rough there. That's probably why there's a bunch of missteps in our deck, huh? Grudge and Balance both seem bad. This extra Flusterstorm seems great. Mindbreak Trap actually seems fine against their Snapcasters. That's pretty clean, just like those two out, those two in. Seems good. Yeah, but they finally fixed that, right? They nerfed Naga Sea Witch into the ground. Kill them with a 3/3 beast. I mean, that's definitely technically an option. Sweet. I have located a Jeskai Ascendancy deck to play at a 5K in Chicago. That sounds exciting. How expensive is Hearthstone to start? You can build Face Mage, which is like, it's like tier 2, tier 1.5, depending on what you want to do for like less than $100, probably closer to 50. Does that really surprise you, Marty? I want to work on Redlings in Immortal a little bit too. I think Redlings is probably still good in Immortal without Lasgard's Vengeance. No, I don't think I'm gonna come up for regionals. There's a team 5K there next weekend that I think I'm gonna come up and play with Matt. I have plans this weekend. Yeah, Odd Rogue is also very good. Odd Rogue is one of the decks I got to Legend with, or rank 5 with. I've never gotten to Legend. I just haven't cared enough. Sylvan Awakening most likely isn't fixing. I want to see it played because I think it is sweet. I just don't think it's worthwhile. Like, Sylvan Awakening doesn't really give you any more of a gotcha effect than, like, what's it called does? Fate Stitcher? And, like, Fate Stitcher is better in a lot of situations, I think. No, Hearthstone is a collectible card game. All of your Hearthstone MTG Arena is what it is because they want to mimic the Hearthstone model. Hearthstone, you put your dollars in and they go away. Well then, let's find a Forbidden Orchard here. Kinda. I mean, like, you have to be winning greater than 50% of your games. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just drop this Oath of Druids now, just like while they don't have counter spells up, I think. Just gonna grab this drop and cast this Oath. That's actually a great draw because it's our 5th mana source, which lets us cast Treasure Cruise here with this 3rd. It's a 5th mana source, and we have this fetch land here, so I get to crack this fetch and then go try and draw 3 here. Cast Jace's what's it? Jace's Ingenuity. Is that the 5 mana draw 3? Or you get Flusterstorm and have nothing. Pyroblast, sure. Similar to Flusterstorm there. Pretty sure it's right to just jam there. I don't really have anything else going on. I'm gonna hold that for now because we do have a Brainstorm in our deck. When you're putting money into Hearthstone to start, depending on how much money you're putting in, like if you're gonna buy like 40 or 50 plus packs, you should always buy 10 packs from every expansion because you're guaranteed a legendary in the first 10 packs from each Hearthstone expansion that you buy. But after that, generally you want to flush out your classic set because those cards don't rotate. I'm pretty sure I want to just shuffle here. None of those cards are Forbidden Orchard. That's a Sun Titan I can hardcast next turn, so ip cheerio, mate. Yeah, so like I took Hearthstone out of my regular stream schedule just because like the numbers when I stream it are kind of mediocre because it's hard to break into new games like that when the market's very saturated. But like honestly, I'm not sure that Hearthstone is the style of game that I could play for like 7 hours at a time on stream. Like I really like the gameplay, don't get me wrong, but it's just like it doesn't like exercise some part of me in the same way that like Magic or Hex do. Like, I plan to continue doing Hearthstone streams, you know, with some frequency in the evenings and stuff like that. I'm just not going to do them in the afternoons anymore. But, like, it's not like the type of game that I feel like I could engage in for, like, 7 hours at a time. I feel like the hour and a half, 2 hours that I do with 3 decks in the evenings is ideal. Bump Bant Super Friends, up some. Been playing it in paper, and it's great in my meta. Also got featured on a stream for the Collector Legion this past weekend. Awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thank you for the support. I'll get that added to the Super Friends in the queue. Thank you very much for the bits. Dig. Gross. So opponent mulliganed really low here, but we're actually pretty far behind now at this point. Our stream numbers right now average for Wednesday night. I don't actually know that offhand, Vic. I haven't actually done that many Wednesday night streams. They're still kind of new-ish. I'm interested in Hex, but it is free to play actually. So Hex is a full buy sell trade secondary market, but you can free to play it if you want to. It's a grind. I'm not going to tell you it's not a grind. It's all free to play games are a grind, but you can in fact play Hex without putting any dollars into the system. Well, I guess we'll bait with Saheeli here. Yeah, I definitely like, regardless of what the numbers are on Wednesday night. I don't intend to stop the Wednesday night stream. Like we're gonna do Magic every Wednesday evening consistently. Hex is not a mobile game, so I think they're planning to come to tablets at some point, but they probably won't ever be on cell phones because unlike Eternal and Hearthstone, Hex is like Magic in that they don't limit the amount of units you're able to put on the board. So there are definitely board states that sometimes become cluttered even on my large monitor, and I definitely wouldn't want to deal with it on a cell phone. Don't take my toys away. I have actually, Gokai. Christy and I were talking about that the other day. So if this Sun Titan, if this flips a Sun Titan, which also puts a Saheeli into the bin here, we'll be able to kill them this turn. So I just need to find our last Sun Titan and ditch just Saheeli into the bin. And we'll be able to combo for the first time this evening. Yeah, baby. Alright, so they're dead. Because I didn't want them to be able to Flusterstorm my Beast Within. I didn't want them to be able to Flusterstorm or Mana Drain or whatever. I think Hex is good if you're looking for something that has the depth and complexity of Magic but does something a little bit different. They use the digital design space really well. So for those, this is actually the first time we've comboed this evening. So this Sun Titan gets back this other Saheeli, and then we keep the new one, and then we copy Sun Titan again, and then the new Sun Titan gets back the other Saheeli, and we just loop this, generating infinite Sun Titans. So that's the combo finish in this build, which is really sweet. I actually really like this build of Oath. We played Oath once or twice, like forever ago when we tipped into Vintage last time, and this build feels a lot better than the builds we played previously. The fact that, like, the turn we Oath them, we can actually kill them is quite excellent. Add this to the 4 digits required. Should donate to get you to play Saheeli Oath with Bomberman combo. We actually have a Bomberman deck coming up at some point. This hand's pretty rancid, right? Like, double Forbidden Orchard is just going to kill us very quickly. We have a Sun Titan in the opener. We don't have Oath of Druid. So I'm going to go ahead and play Catch and Release on this one, I think, for sure. Yeah, let's do it. I don't really need another deck here. We're doing Vintage on your list of formats if you have one. I actually think I would put this above Legacy right now. And again, it could just be that, like, I haven't played the format enough, so, like, I don't really know some of the like, worst things that could occur in it. Like, I know Workshops is supposed to be kind of scary, but, like, we're heading into, like, this is the 4th match in this league. This is the 3rd match in this league. And we didn't play against Shops last week either, so... Whereas, like, Legacy, especially online, is very focused and has a lot of the decks that are very, very... They're good and impressive, and they're kind of just boring to play against, honestly. Doing big, splashy things is kind of fun as well. Cutting the line on Storm. This one is for Band Super Friends, so that's for Storm and Friends. Thank you, Apprentice, for the bits. We'll get started with those tomorrow morning for sure. Thanks for the generous support as always. Deathrite Shaman is a rancid card, also why Oath would be good in Legacy, and Vintage is a 2-card combo. Yeah, and honestly, like, it's kind of obnoxious how good Delver is at pushing all of the combo decks out of Legacy as the format, and, like, the fact that... Am I supposed to go Black Lotus Dack here? I'm supposed to go Black Lotus Dack here, right? Because I can, like, Flusterstorm their counter even. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to Black Lotus Dack. The fact that, like, this could be a combo deck that's, like, good against Delver was, like, would make it appealing in the format, I think. Alright, what do I want to do here? I think I actually want this land, right? Am I just, like, ditching Soul Ring Mox Emerald? Is that crazy? Like, I don't need the fast mana at this point, right? What is Maverick? Maverick is a green-white, sometimes splashing a 3rd color fair creature deck in Legacy. I kind of want the Force, right? I hope Deathrite Shaman gets banned before the Pro Tour. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to ditch these two. I just, like, want to keep my protection. And, like, remember, ultimately at the end of the day, like, if you enjoy playing Legacy, or if you enjoy playing Vintage, or enjoy playing Modern, whatever format in Magic you enjoy playing, like, Magic's a lot of things to a lot of different people. and if what you enjoy playing is important, so like don't let other people not enjoying the format that you play, like, you know, not every format has to appeal to every player. I'm pretty obligated to fight over this, right? I feel like I'm pretty obligated to fight over my deck here. Feel like I'm all in on the deck plan. That's pretty good. This deck needs more Notion Thief. Am I just like binning this Jace Force? I think I am, right? Just going like land, fetch land, top, go. Maybe I wasn't supposed to be so aggressive fighting over the deck there, just because like it left me so low on cards. Deck isn't very good when I don't have a lot of extra cards, because like he only loots, he doesn't actually provide card advantage. They are adding all of Standard to Arena and Best of Threes. That is something that they announced on YouTube today on the Wizards channels. Yeah, Dead Guy Ale. Dead Guy Ale's a sweet deck. It's just, you know, it's worse than the 4-color control mush. Like, the 4-color control decks just, like, do what Dead Guy Ale does, but better. Would you play Immortal taking turns for X? Yes, Apprentice, 10 out of 10. I think that deck sounds great. A 2-drop with the brand new Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great content on Twitch right now, so thank you very much for supporting my stuff this month with your Twitch Prime. Welcome. I haven't really played Standard with Dominaria, so I can't really say. I mean, what's there to rant about RPTQs? Don't we like know everything that sucks about RPTQs? Like, the things that suck about RPTQs aren't exactly new. So none of those are my oath, so I'm gonna crack this fetch land. Do it, take all the turns with the cute little storm cloud, 10 out of 10. We'll get that added to the queue. Thank you, Apprentice. Yeah, that deck is sweet. There are a lot of sweet decks in Hex's Immortal format, I think. And we'll see how the power level on all of them balances out in the long term. I guess I leave the Misstep on top just in case I want to draw and Misstep something next turn. I actually played Legacy Alurin at the 2016 SCG Players Championship, but that was back when, what's it called, was illegal. Sensei's Dividing Top was illegal in the format. I think when they nerfed Miracles, that was one of Alurin's better matchups, and it became kind of poorly positioned. Again, I think Alurin really falls into the camp of it does what the 4-color control deck does, but worse by and large a lot of the time. How hard would it be to grind for a tiered deck in Hex? I don't know. I don't free-to-play card games. I have lots of Hearthstone decks because I gave Blizzard lots of money. I have Hex decks and MTGO decks because I have sponsors. God, that's a tilt. We're gonna die to this Mentor very quickly. I will say this, you'll probably have a more enjoyable time and a faster time earning in-game stuff if you just put a small amount of money into Hex, like put in like 10, 20, 30 bucks and like buy a mostly reasonable deck, and then like use that to like play in the bash tournaments and like play up the ladder. You can build a moderately competitive Candles deck for like 10 to 15 bucks. Okay, so they named Dack, so they're not going to attack Dack here. I did leave Misstep on top of my deck. You are right. Sorry, we were talking. Suicide Zoo, whatever that is, please. Send me a list, Nivik. Thanks for spending the rest of your bits here, Apprentice. All right, so I get to take a draw step, which is gonna be. I should have shorted the Brainstorm to the top, right? I assume this is not good enough, because I assume they have counter spells and they're gonna have enough things to kill me next turn with their prowess triggers. The Flusterstorm. Another misstep. Good games, opponent. I think I punted the first game. The first game went long enough and like I made enough decisions that there's no way I made all of them correctly. That was a pretty long set. Yeah, free to playing like okay, so here's the TLDR. If you don't enjoy playing shit tier decks to grind in-game currency, you shouldn't do that. You should just go to work. You should find an extra part-time job if your current job doesn't pay you enough. And like working even for minimum wage is gonna get you the cards you want faster than doing a grind. There's not enough cake in your cup. Let me fix that. Thank you, Zogotha. Thanks for dropping some cake in my cup. I mean, I can't mulligan turn 1 recall backed up by misstep, right? I got you, Tiny Angry Demon. That's like, hey, that's Declan's nickname, Tiny Angry Demon. Is Total Democracy or bonus weight at the top of the queue? Total Democracy. So again, the queue is sorted by total amount that people have donated extra for a deck plus additional 1 point per day that it's been in the queue. So basically the 1 day per point makes it so that people that donate extra don't automatically override people that donate the minimum amount. You can either wait your turn or you can pay to cut the line. Can you whisper me whatever list you want, Nivix? That way I have it logged for later, because I don't update the spreadsheet midstream. I'm going to pass, and I'm going to upkeep Ancestral Recall here. If they have a force for this, we might be in a little bit of trouble. Hopefully they just have misstep. Okay, sweet. I wanted to do that during their upkeep, because on the off chance we didn't draw a 0-mana spell there, we would have had to discard to hand size. I got you, Red. It's a lot of old cards to make a lot of mana, opponent. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Alright, so these come in, this comes in, these missteps are terrible. Is this a Blazing Archon matchup? They can't take a Blazing Archon off the table, right? Does anybody know? I've got one more card I need to board in. We want the basic, yep, almost certainly. These Flusterstorms are bad too, right? Is this a Sudden Shock matchup? This could be a Sudden Shock matchup. You'll be streaming this weekend. I'm planning to stream Sunday night after the Pro Tour Top 8 is done. What's going on, Delt? I mean, they're probably on Ravager shops, right? Like, Ravager is the better version of shops, the more popular version from my understanding. I'm gonna board in these shocks. Just see how that feels. Yeah, Jeskai Teferi is Jeskai Control with a few copies of Teferi in it. We haven't played that on stream just yet. I would love to play first. His hand has Oath and plenty of land, so it's certainly a keep. No, I'll just grab Jadim's latest list. Jadim played it in the last Immortal Championship Series event, so I'll just snake the list that he played. He's a pretty good player. I'm sure if there were any updates to make, he would have made them. That's true. And it's funny, Christy was like, all right, so what are your weekend plans for the stream? I was like, I'm going to start streaming on Sunday at some point, probably between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m., depending on how long shit takes. Force is pretty good. The Sudden Shock's probably a little mediocre. Do I cast my Oath proactively here? Probably. It, like, discourages them from playing creatures next turn, which is nice. Sure. Sure. Oh, yeah. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. All the girlies say he's pretty fly for a factory guy. Do 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 do. What's the note on the Teferi deck? Oh, the Justin June crappy deck. I guess I just play this Saheeli and start scrying with her, right? Might as well. Slow grind here. Slow ride. Take it easy. Please cast a thing. Oh, they're totally... They're totally just gonna, like, stick 2 counters on this Mishra's Factory, aren't they? That's awkward. I think I'm still just supposed to let this happen. They're gonna sack this Mox Emerald and then animate the factory and then sack the Ravager to itself. Yeah. It's a good line on their part. I don't think that's worth forcing. Just because, like, the second Saheeli guarantees I combo them if I get a Sun Titan. Like, I could just draw Sun Titan naturally here. Since I have the Black Lotus in play. Black Lotus cast my 6/6 for 6. That's, like, good, clean magic as Richard Garfield intended it to be played, right? It's not enough to win that they have to lose and feel bad about it. Yep. Looking for orchards and... Alright, Ancient Grudge is great here, right? Just lets me kill their thing and then they're at nothing basically then. Go. It's a lot of wastelands. You like the part where they've declined to wasteland me off of red every turn up until I have something to cast for red? That'll kill their win condition. Good clean Magic the Gathering right there. I think I'm burning my Black Lotus and killing this. I don't want to keep taking these hits. Gets right to do this. So like gives us infinite time, right? Like they can't take this off the table unless they have draw like Ratchet Bomb, and I can force a Ratchet Bomb. You know, our next card's another Force here, which is fine. Yeah, Soul Ring's restricted. Yeah, the emotes are case sensitive. So Detention Sphere. Do I care about this? I just get to flashback Ancient Grudge, right? Go. That's good sequencing. Encouraged me to flashback my Grudge, and now they have this factory. Man, I have children. I'm always tired. It's also 11 o'clock here. It's like I'm dragging a little bit. This is a 9-turn clock on their part here. We have 2 Nature's Claims in our deck. Forbidden Orchards and Cantrips are also great. That lets us hardcast a Force of Will, which is nice. I would suggest they proxy a bunch of decks that are in their price range and then find the one they enjoy playing the most. Magic, especially Modern, is very much about playing the cards that you enjoy playing. So finding the cards that you enjoy playing is important. Chalice of the Void for 1. What if I used one of my no buttons on that one? Because I would like my cantrips to be live. Let's cut that shit out. Down to 13 here. Yeah, Storm and those other decks that people are suggesting are probably in that price range. But again, like, those decks require a very specific type of person, I feel, to enjoy. So, like, if your friend doesn't enjoy playing the type of Magic that those decks produce, they're not going to have a fun time with them, and they're not going to enjoy Modern. And so I always find that really funny. Like, I've talked to people who are like, I hate Modern, it's all linear decks and racing and bullshit and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, what decks have you played? They're like, well, I tested Burn, and I tested Ad Nauseam, and I tested Storm. It's like, oh, you think the format is all linear racing decks because you've only tested linear decks that are racing. It's like, good lord, people. Maybe I should have held this Trap because when I drew a red source, I get to Dack now. Could have held that to loot through. I think I agree with that, Spawn. I think humans forced the format into a much more interactive state than it's been in a long time. I think humans is a deck that's very good at punishing the decks that are linear and degenerate. So, like, they're worse off. Peace, Nivik. Have a good evening. Oh man, I've been the Polluted Delta. All right, if we hit a white source here, we get to get him. Ding, Fraser done. So this is lethal because we have 2 Saheelis in the bin. Just like, so we used Oath to just like keep them from casting their spells. And like now we're just gonna like hard, and this is why I really like this build of this deck, because like this can just happen, right? Like this Oath of Druids said, hey, you're never going to put a creature into play because I'm going to kill you, and like we stalled the game and just like drew our Sun Titan and fucking cast it. This is our 4th match in this league. We're currently 2-1. We're technically 1-2, right? We had someone concede to us in a game that we were gonna otherwise lose. I definitely haven't been making all the optimal plays with the deck though. It's got a lot of subtleties to it that I didn't pick up on right away. I think Burn's a fine deck right now. Basically, Oath of Druid says if your opponent has more creatures than you get to flip cards off the top of your deck till you find a creature. And if you have more creatures than them, vice versa. This hand's not good enough on the draw, right? I guess the fact that this hand has 3 lands in it probably makes it keepable on the draw, huh? Because, like, Oath can do the same thing this game, potentially, that it did last game, which is, like, keep my opponent from, like, putting their creatures into play for fear of, like, me getting to Oath them. I mean, we have 2 copies of Sun Titan. We'd prefer them to be in the deck, but I think the rest of this hand is good, and I think I value just, like, having lands to cast my spells against this deck. This card is the reason why the opponent's deck is the best deck in Vintage. I have a Black Lotus that gets used every single turn. Grafdigger's Cage, okay. I mean, that shuts off our Oath. Oh, geez, they're gonna name Scalding Tarn here, 10 out of 10. I guess they could name Divining Top too. Yeah, name Divining Top makes sense. Well, our hand is much worse than it was a second ago, believe it or not. And that would have been a great draw if they didn't have this cage in play. We do have 2 Ancient Grudges and 2 Nature's Claims in our deck, so we're not just dead, but so they can cast the 6-drop this turn. Yep. That's a pretty rancid draw. So, do you understand what Oath of Druids does? So, the first question is, do you understand what Oath of Druids does? It's a real question. That dictates how much I need to explain to you about what these decks are doing. You experience it from Keep. Okay, so the different win conditions do different things. The first and foremost is that the Sun Titan plan can allow you to combo kill your opponent the turn you put it into play because of its ability to because of the ability to return the Saheelis to play. So we don't want to activate Oath of Druids here. We're going to say no, because I don't want to flip cards off the top of my deck, because I'm not going to actually get to put the Sun Titan into play because of Grafdigger's Cage. Alright, that's a Detention Sphere, but it's probably going to be too slow, right? Like, they're going to put... This goes up to 3... I guess maybe it'll be quick enough. We'll see here. So, like, next turn we get to Sphere them. If this was an Ancient Grudge or a Nature's Claim, we'd be in an amazing spot, but it's not, so we're probably dead. We need to survive 2 combat steps here, which probably isn't going to happen, right? They're just going to, like, attack us for 9, attack us for 9. Yeah, we're just dead next turn, right? Yeah, we're just dead next turn. Needed a way to unlock our Oath this turn. It's actually a little bit unfortunate that we, like, had a Sun Titan in our opening hand there, because if we would have had 2 Sun Titans left in my deck, what I could have done is I could have said yes to activate the Oath and then potentially mill into an Ancient Grudge. No, that's not true, because Grafdigger's Cage stops flashing back Ancient Grudge. Ignore me, I'm wrong and dumb. I'm wrong and dumb. We figured it out there before I finished saying it, though. I could have sphered the cage Delta, but I was dead in 2 attacks. I like playing lots of different things. It depends on, like, how much I'm willing to think on a given day. Like, my range is pretty wide these days. Like, I've really been enjoying the Jeskai Ascendancy deck in Modern, but at the same time, I also really enjoy, like, Jeskai Control and, like, Green Black Mid-Range. Those are very different styles of decks. Man, am I even going to get to Maverick tonight? This has been kind of a long league. This one's pushing on 2 hours. I don't know if I have another 2 hours in me. I don't think I can go till 1 a.m. Maybe we'll close the night with a Belcher League. I have Belcher in the queue, right? I do have Belcher in the queue. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Because Belcher's usually done in under an hour. One more vintage match. See if we can maybe cash the league. As opposed to having set $12 on fire. We'll just leave Maverick in the queue for another day. It's a real shame Moto had downtime this morning and we couldn't get to more Legacy this morning. Maybe we'll do some Legacy on Friday. Tomorrow's definitely going to be a Modern day, but maybe we'll do Legacy on Friday when we overlap the PT. Good evening, wife. I just built Revolt 2 in Modern, and the deck has been an absolute blast. With Storm, I just kind of controls my other 2 decks. I really didn't need another great deck. Yeah, sometimes you want to just, like, kill people, right? There's a link to the deck list in the donation queue there. Generally speaking, I always try and put links in there. Sometimes they're decks that I have to, like, work on still, so there won't be links in there. I work on them closer to when we actually play them. But by and large, there's links to a lot of things in the queue. In my experience, Maverick, even with Punishing Fire, is, like, pretty medium against the 4-color control decks. Like, the 4-color control decks are, like, so good at dumpstering everything fair. If you like zoo variations, you should check out the Landfall zoo deck that we played on stream. It was like it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point. We 5-0'd the league that we were playing. It felt really powerful and pretty explosive. It was a lot of fun. Or should I bathe the nap? We're gonna play Charbelcher after this one, Apprentice. So you can weigh that for yourself whether or not you want to hang out for a Belcher League. We are 2-2 in this league. But we all one of our victories was a concession that someone that was gonna beat us, so our actual record's actually not that great. Which that's honestly a sign of a great format in my mind. Like, we're basically 1-3 in this league, and like I'm still like, let's play another game, let's play another match with this deck. This deck is sweet. Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel, Afara. You can always find all of my past streams on my YouTube channel, and I always put deck lists in the video descriptions for every deck that we play in the video. Maybe I'm missing something, but if you sphere the cage... Are you saying if I sphere the Steel Overseers, maybe? Because, like, I was definitely dead. They killed me in 2 attacks. Like, they attacked me, I played Sphere, took their cage, and then they killed me the next turn before I got to untap. So we were dead that last game before we were able to get a turn with our Oath, plus them not having a cage. Decks low on that X and high on that Y are like the definition of... Or like the definition of the decks we play here. Alright, Moto, Ram check. Not quite 2 gigs yet. You're not wrong. Oh vintage, please with the Q times, won't you pair me into an opponent who will dumpster us? Hey, Niv2 with the brand new big sub. Thank you for the tier 3 subscription there. I do appreciate that. Be sure to drop me a message in private so we can work out what complimentary donation deck you'd like to have included with your tier 3 sub. Thanks for that next level of support. How much money are Jeff Rants? Rants are better when they come naturally. When they're like something that just like pops up through normal discourse or discussion. When they're forced, they're not very enjoyable. I mean, this is a hand. I guess I'm gonna keep. Hopefully they're playing a combo deck. My thoughts on Legacy Storm. Legacy Storm is a deck that every time I play with it or against it, I walk away from the match going, man, this deck is really terrible. Why do people play this? I don't think it's particularly good or consistent. So Beast Within is actually like a pseudo combo piece for us, which is nice. We're looking for just an Oath of Druids at this point, because this can give them a creature. Misstep, rude. What time is it where you live, and is this a regular stream time? It is currently 11:20 p.m. where I live. Every Wednesday evening is my one After Dark Magic stream per week. So consistently every Wednesday night you'll find me here streaming. But by and large my stream times are during the day while the kids are at daycare. Cavern of Souls. Okay. Human. Interesting. 1 black. What's that? Yeah, that resolves. Okay. Neat. Neat. Oath of Druids. Dack Fayden, sure. think I'm gonna play all deck here as a Faithless Looting gain 4. No, I don't really play too many paper events. I think I'm playing a team 5K in Chicago in 2 weekends. Matt and I are still working out the details, but yeah, I really don't play paper events too much anymore. But some advice for learning / playing Magic. That's like a very generic question. It's a very open-ended answer. There are literally books written on that topic. Have fun. That's the best piece of advice. Enjoy what you're doing. Magic doesn't pay enough money to not enjoy what you're doing, so make sure you remember that this is a game that you should be playing to have fun. Easy double bottoms here. For Modern Assault Loam, you should post the deck list to something like MTG Goldfish or Tapped Out, and then they got Preordain, and then whisper me on Twitch or DM me on Twitter. Yep, I fucked up. I should have played this land out so I could Flusterstorm that probably. Yep. What's going on, Mr. Silicon? Good evening. No, not tonight, Iron. Wednesday night is my evening magic night. I'm gonna play this other fetch lined out because we can crack both these fetches and hard cast a Force of Will. We're gonna finish. This is the last match in this vintage league, and then we're gonna blast off Goblin Tribelcher, I think, before I go to bed. So we're gonna give them Preordain back here most likely. Not giving you Misstep to counter another one of my cantrips. I'd rather give you a cantrip of your own, I think. Misstep is just too efficient at what it does. Not letting that happen. I'm about to get like Kite Sail freebooted here. Notion Thief. Esper, Human, Campbell. Yep. Feeling pretty dead. Yep. That's a tough beat. Grudge seems kind of bad. Definitely want this Flusterstorm. Balance actually seems fine for cleaning out their creatures. So I'm just going to board in the extra Flusterstorm and click submit. Sideboard's full of like pretty specific anti-hate cards here. If you Oath and Saheeli does not go to the graveyard, does the combo fail? Well, I mean, kinda. You still got a Sun Titan into play. Like, Sun Titan outclasses a lot of the creatures people are able to put into play in Vintage. So while you don't get to combo them, you like still are ahead. And like if you like find a Dack Fayden, for instance, you can loot with a Dack Fayden and get more looks for your Saheeli. The basic mountain is for decks that are going to wasteland you and strip mine you aggressively, like Shops. think I'm cracking this Lotus. No, that's the only infinite combo in the deck. Yep. It's a good clean 2 for 2 here. Trade Force Jace for Black Lotus. Probably way too much. Yeah, you don't just have to buy me, you have to buy 2 other people in the team. Oath? This gives away what we're doing. I'm gonna hold the Mox Ruby for now. Might want to loot it away later. Gross. It's gonna be a Campbell. I think I just want to do that because if they like forced me back there, it would be pretty bad for me. Or like if I went to like Beast Within or D-Sphere their thing and they countered it, I'd be in a pretty bad spot because they'd have mentor tokens left over and I don't have an Oath of Druids in sight. I think we're just passing here. Top's a good one. Looking forward to getting misstepped. Yep. A Lotus Petal. That's interesting in their deck full of like fair creatures. Yep. So, one of the things that I'm not a huge fan of about Vintage is that the way restricted lists work, they add a lot of variance to the format, right? Because like there's these really powerful cards in both players' decks, but you don't find them consistently for both players. So the swings tend to be pretty big when one player finds a lot of their high impact cards. And like a lot of the high impact blue cards in this format, like Treasure Cruise and Recall and Dig, they snowball and like self-enable, right? Because like once you find the first one, they draw you into more and your advantage kind of snowballs out of control with it. It's gonna get Beast Within here in a second. Hopefully that's getting Beast Within. I'm actually gonna play another Mox out here, so I can pay for a Flusterstorm on this. So we're gonna upkeep Beast Within, not only so they have to use mana on their turn and it resets the storm count for a possible Flusterstorm, but I also want the Beast to not be able to attack this turn. Okay, well, we killed their hate card, so, you know, maybe we can snowball some advantage, get a cantrip of our own, maybe a Digger, Cruise, or Recall. Nope, more lands. Womp womp. I've already played my Brainstorm this game, right? Nope, that was last game. So I guess we'll hold these lands. There is still a Brainstorm in our deck. I think this is actually going to be my last game of the night. I'm kind of dragging him. I'm like, I'm not excited. I feel like I'm not entertaining. So I'm going to actually just like get a good night's sleep and then I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to do a longer stream tomorrow because I'm not going to go as long on Friday. I think we'll, if I don't get to Legacy tomorrow, we'll definitely get to Legacy come Friday. I have a Jace in my deck too. It's a reason to hold lands. Certainly have a force at this point. Wow. Okay, deal. I'm gonna pick that up to protect my Jace. I have a Snapcaster Mage here. That's pretty unfortunate. Nah, I'm not gonna Belch Apprentice. I'm just gonna call it a night, I think. So they could very well still have a counterspell in their hands and say the Snapcaster Mage and the Beast token deal with Jace. Maybe I was just supposed to Brainstorm there and get card advantage, assuming this was going to die. We did get a Snapcaster Mage out of them, though, which is valuable. Like, that could snap back a few different things. Well, I mean, that is a vintage legal magic card that we just drew. Cast my shitter. This is a hard cast Mindbreak Trap. God, it's a hard cast Mindbreak Trap. Gross. Yep. The way the fast mana works in this format, it really feels like there's like a lot of, God, I love the cut of your jib opponent. It's like Cavern on Human, Kaya Ghost Assassin. Just A+, A+. Can this card be modern legal, please? I would fucking love to play that. I don't even think it would be that good. I just, like, want to cast it. It's just a card that I would enjoy playing Magic with. Yeah. Yeah, we're pretty dead here. We just, like... And even if we hit, they discarded a recall to hand size. They discarded a recall to hand size. Our record with this deck was really bad, but I had a lot of fun playing it. I really wish this card was legal in Legacy so I could like play this in kind of a lower power level format. I also feel like Legacy has more creatures in it on average, so like this is a more powerful combo card in Legacy where like there's a lot of Deathrite Shamans and Delvers and stuff like that. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up for the evening. Everybody have a good day, and I'll be back at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, about 9.5 hours from now, starting with some Modern and maybe some Legacy later on. So everybody have a good evening, and thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. And as always, shout out to all the subs and resubs. Thanks for the support as always.